If your DNA is your brain's instruction manual, what would happen if someone went over it with a red pen? Every cell in your body, including the brain, contains the exact same manual, your unique DNA, which has every piece of information needed to make you. Not every cell needs all of the instructions to work, however, and in fact, if they read the wrong part, say a muscle cell uses the liver cell instructions, things can go very wrong. These specifications, as well as emphasis for when to do things and how much, are conveyed using highlighting and punctuation in the DNA's instruction manual, and these marks are called epigenetics. Epigenetic marks on the DNA change which part of the instructions a cell pays attention to, and fine-tunes their actions to suit the current conditions without changing the underlying DNA sequence. This description makes things seem all very orderly and settled, but circumstances outside the body also have a say in what the manual tells each cell to do. This fact makes the DNA less like a curated instruction manual and more like a hotly contested Wikipedia article. Things we eat, drugs we use, and chemicals we're exposed to in the environment are armed with highlighters and red pens and can influence everything from your bodily health to how you think. The underlining and italics of epigenetics in the brain are especially responsive to the environment, and I'm interested in how a newly popular compound called cannabidiol, or CBD, influences your brain's instruction manual through this mechanism. Although it doesn't cause the high associated with marijuana, CBD interacts with many receptors in the brain, and its impact on epigenetics, or those very precise interpretations of the DNA's instructions, is unknown. So far, we've used mouse models to find that CBD does indeed shift epigenetic marks in the hippocampus, an area of the brain involved in memory and an important part of a variety of psychiatric disorders like anxiety. Other studies say that CBD may improve anxiety symptoms, so the edits in this case may actually clarify rather than confuse. But what about when the instruction manual is still being written in the womb? We found that CBD even more strongly affects epigenetic edits to the DNA in mice whose mothers were exposed to CBD. The consequence of these changes is that female offspring were significantly more anxious as adults. These findings show for the first time that while CBD is a popular new health supplement, it results in important changes to the brain's instruction manual during development that may lead to long-lasting changes in mood and behavior. In the future, we will also examine CBD's epigenetic effects in adolescence, when connections in the brain are still developing and particularly vulnerable to overly enthusiastic editors. Epigenetic marks in the brain represent a finely tuned system of interpreting the DNA's instructions, and knowing which edits CBD makes and when will help us make informed decisions about its use and learn about how psychiatric diseases develop during adolescence, pregnancy, and adulthood. Thank you.